Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tiffany and I'm finally back with another video. It has been entirely too long, but I recently did go on another trip. I went to Costa Rica. It was a very quick trip. I was just there for a couple of days, and unfortunately, I was really bad at vlogging while I was there. I do have some footage from the trip, but really not enough to make a full vlog. So I figured what I would do is do a sit down recap about the trip and just insert the footage that I have as B-roll. So I have my iPad here so that I can remember everything because unfortunately it's been a while and I'm just now getting around to filming this video. So I went there in February. So I left on a Friday night. I flew an overnight flight to San Jose, Costa Rica from San Francisco. I had to stop over in El Salvador. More about that later. But I arrived there around 9 a.m. and then it was about a 3-hour shuttle ride to Manuel Antonio where I was staying. So be prepared for that if you're traveling to Costa Rica. Most of the places that you would want to visit are going to be a bit of a drive from the airport. There's only one international airport, so just make sure that you plan for that both in terms of time and in terms of cost. So on the way to Manuel Antonio, we did stop at this like alligator river or crocodile river. I think they were crocodiles, and we were able to take pictures of the crocodiles, and also they had stores, restrooms, things like that. So you can stretch your legs, get a snack, get a drink, and just look at the crocodiles. So that was kind of cool. Cool little intro to Costa Rica. I arrived at my hotel later that afternoon. All right, let's get into this room tour. So I am staying at the Falls Resort, Manuel Antonio. I booked a 2-bedroom because I was trying to see if I could get someone else to come with me, but that did not work out. So I get 2 beds to myself. So on the bed, they left this little towel arrangement, which is cute. Second bed. And there's actually also this bed. So you could really sleep a whole family in here without any problems at all. But other than that, the room itself isn't too special. This is like the closet. So there's a safe, some robes, hangers, pretty standard. Luggage rack. We do have like a fridge in here. So there's like a mini bar. So there's like red wine, there's white wine, some other drinks. Actually, let me just show you. Some drinks in here. These are not included. There is a price list that they left. So probably won't be buying any of that. Although the water is reasonable, I think. So I'll see how much it is in the store. This is the bathroom. Toilet. Shower. Pretty standard, nothing really. And this is the view from the other side. And I didn't really do much Friday because I was honestly tired from traveling. I didn't sleep very well on the flight. So once I got there, I basically just laid around for a bit, and then I ended up going to meet up with some girls that I met on the shuttle for some food because they were staying pretty close to me. So just met up with them, had some food. I think I had a drink as well. And then I spent the rest of the evening at my hotel pool. Editing Tiffany here. I completely forgot to mention that while we were eating at El Wagon, we were also able to see some monkeys, which was really cool. They were just hanging out on the trees right next to the restaurant. After that, we headed to the store, picked up some snacks, some drinks, and I decided to go to El Avion to watch the sunset because I heard that that's the best place to see the sunset in Manuel Antonio. It's actually really cool because they have a full airplane in the restaurant, and you can go inside, you can go into the cockpit, you can take pictures. Like, it's actually a super cool experience. Saturday, I woke up, I had an activity scheduled. It was like a snorkeling and like boat, it was like a snorkeling and catamaran tour. Originally, I was supposed to go at 2 p.m. They contacted me the day before saying there weren't enough people signed up for 2 p.m. Could I go in the morning instead? Which, fine, no problem. So they pick me up, we get on the boat, we go out, one of the engines failed, and we ended up having to go back. Thankfully, they were able to book those of us who were interested on a different provider for later that day. So I ended up going at 2 p.m., which is what it was originally scheduled. In between there, I ended up just relaxing in my hotel room because I honestly wasn't feeling well. I had some avocado toast in the morning, and I have recently discovered that avocado does not agree with me. So I was not feeling very well, so I just basically was relaxing in my room in between the failed tour and the actual tour. So once we finally got on the actual tour, it was actually really fun. Being on a boat is always super enjoyable for me. It's one of the things that I always have to do anytime I'm on a vacation near water. We were able to see some humpback whales, which was really nice, and we did snorkel for a bit. The snorkeling was not great. It was actually my least favorite snorkeling experience that I've had before. If you watched my Bali video, you probably heard me say the same thing. This was worse than that. The water was a bit murky. There also wasn't really much to see. There were just a few fish, like 2 different kinds of fish, and murky water. So it wasn't that great. But it's still cool to get out and swim in the ocean and all that good stuff. And our boat had a slide, and I did go down the slide, and that was fun. They fed us as well. The food was pretty good. It was like fish and rice and vegetables. And that was pretty much Saturday. So after that, I met up with the same girls again that I met on the shuttle. We had some food, had some drinks, and then after that, I think I went back to my hotel and I had some ceviche and I had a glass of wine, and that was pretty much that. Sunday was my last full day. My original plan was I was going to do this like zip lining and canopy walk tour, but I just kind of wasn't feeling it. I felt like I needed a relaxing trip, so I decided to just cancel that and do a beach day. So I went to, oh, I forgot which beach it was. It's like Playa Espondilo or something like that. But basically, if you were to go from like the town, Manuel Antonio, and just keep going down, I got on the bus and went all the way down to the end. There's a beach. And at the beach, there are people who are there. I guess they're affiliated with the local restaurants. So one of the guys, his name was Brandon, he approached me and he asked me if I was there for the day. I told him yes. He asked if I was wanting a chair and an umbrella. I told him yes. And I asked him how much it was. He said it's free as long as you order from the restaurant. And I was like, well, that's fine. I'm going to need lunch anyway. So I ended up ordering some tacos, and I think I had a couple of margaritas. Or I had a margarita and then I had a smoothie because I didn't want to drink more alcohol. And just hung out at the beach all day, spent some time in the water, but spent a lot of time just in my chair reading my book. And it was just a really nice, relaxing day. So after that, I went back to my room, I took a shower, and then I went to a different hotel down the street and I had dinner. They had a really nice view of the sunset. Like, it was overlooking the water, really nice view of the sunset. And the food was pretty good. It wasn't anything too crazy. I'll have a picture on the screen. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So the only actual activity I did was a catamaran and snorkeling thing. Outside of that, it was just kind of hanging out, eating food, going to the pool, going to the beach. Nothing crazy. But again, I was only there for like 2.5 days, so you can only do so much in that time. I wish that I would have prioritized going to Manuel Antonio Park. There's like a national park there, which was actually the main reason why I went to Manuel Antonio, but I did not realize that you have to book the tickets in advance. You can't just go to the park. So if you are traveling to Manuel Antonio, definitely keep that in mind. Make sure that you do your reservation in advance because they might not have availability at the last minute, and that's what happened to me. So general thoughts. Number one, I flew on Avianca, which I probably would not do again. I did not realize that it was like a budget airline. So bags are not included, seat selection not included. The seats don't recline. They don't give you any type of food or drink, even though the flight is pretty long and it's international. Oh no, there were drinks. I take that back. There were drinks, but there was no food. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you're flying on Avianca. The other thing is flying through El Salvador was not really fun. I don't know if this is just El Salvador or if there are other airports, but they have a lot of rules about liquids. So when I flew through El Salvador going to Costa Rica, they told me that you can't have water in your water bottle, but if you show proof that you bought it in the airport, then you can bring it on the plane. So going back, I thought that it was going to be the same rule. So I purchased water in the airport, saved my receipt, everything like that. They would not let me bring it on the plane. I ended up having to throw it away. It was either chug the water or throw it away. I ended up just throwing it away. Thankfully, they were giving out bottles of water as you boarded the plane. They say it has, I think they say it has something to do with the liquid rules in the US, which, yes, we do have liquid rules in the US, but usually you go through security and then you fill up your water bottle and you're fine. But at this airport, the security is at the gate. It's not just like one security for the airport. I'm not sure if they had additional security to enter the airport. Obviously, I was there on a layover, but they have individual security at each gate. So you have to be prepared for that, and maybe double check before purchasing any water, because you definitely don't want to waste your money like I did. The other thing is they don't really speak English in that airport, so it's really hard to find someone to explain to you what the rules even are. I've never experienced anything like that. Other places that I've traveled, at least there's like some people who speak English, and I know a little bit of Spanish, but I don't know enough to be asking questions about water being allowed and things like that. Yeah. So just be mindful of that if you're traveling through El Salvador, or just maybe research any other airports that you're traveling through, just to make sure that you don't get caught off guard like I did. The only other thing I wanted to share is my hotel. I stayed at the Falls Resort in Manuel Antonio. The hotel was okay. The mistake that I made was I kind of booked the hotel in a rush when I was booking my flight, because it wasn't last minute, but it was kind of impulsive when I was booking the trip. So because of that, I didn't thoroughly research before I booked. My intention was to go back and do some additional research and, maybe book a different hotel, but I never got around to doing that. I just stuck with the hotel that I had originally booked, and it was fine. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, but just it wasn't as nice. You could tell that some of the finishes were kind of dated. It needed a little bit of work, and like there weren't really any nice amenities, no real nice views, no balcony, no patio, no nothing like that. So there were definitely other hotels in the area that were much nicer, and if I go back, I would probably say somewhere else. That hotel was fine. Again, I wouldn't tell you not to stay there, but if you're looking for more of like a nicer experience, there are better options, is what I will say. I don't really think there's anything else to share. I will be writing a blog post about this as well, which will be linked down below. This will have the links to the hotel, to the activities that I did, to the places that I ate, everything like that. So if you're interested, please check that out. And otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And I'll see you next time. Bye.